always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Hey guys, and welcome to GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Cynthia, and happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Tuesday. Cinco de Mayo this year falls on a Taco Tuesday, and unfortunately, we can't really go out and celebrate that today. If you do, you don't really need to celebrate. It's not Mexican Independence Day. I know a lot of people think that Cinco de Mayo is Mexican Independence Day, but it's not. This is just celebrating the Battle of Puebla, and Mexican Independence Day is actually September 16th, for those of you who didn't know. So you're really celebrating a battle win today, not Mexican Independence Day, if you are celebrating. So best believe after I'm done with shooting recording all of the episodes that I need to do, I will go home, have myself maybe, a nice margarita and some tacos to celebrate, which I do encourage you. Again, if you are trying to celebrate Cinco de Mayo today, order from your local Mexican restaurant or takeout place, just to, help them out during these hard times. I know a lot of restaurants and little food places are getting hit. And so, yeah, I say support your local Mexican restaurant, eatery. And that's my TED Talk for today. No, I'm kidding. So let's get into what we're actually here to talk about, which is the virtual Met Gala that took place yesterday. Tyra Banks and Vanessa Bryant. And of course, at the very end of today's show, I will be sharing with you guys my entertainment pick of the week. So for all of the new listeners today, each week I share with you all my entertainment pick of the week. That's either a movie, a TV show, music, a book, basically anything that's been entertaining and that I want to share with you guys. So first things first, the Met Gala, they took a virtual turn this year. The pandemic may have altered the traditional course of the Met Gala, but that's not stopping the fashion world from celebrating the biggest event. So for those of you who are wondering, what is the Met Gala? The Met Gala is basically like the Super Bowl of fashion. It's an annual event that takes place every year on the first Monday in May. Everyone who is anyone comes to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York for the annual fundraising gala celebrating the Costume Institute's magnificent new exhibition on a changing theme. So each year, the organizers have a specific theme for all of the people who get invited to kind of dress according to the theme. So it's kind of like Halloween, but for A-list celebrities. It all started in 1946, and over the decades, it has become a grand affair, the party of the year. Everyone looks forward to this event. Everyone meaning the celebrities. I don't really care because, again, I don't get invited. So the one other constant is the red carpet fashion. There's really nothing quite like it, and it is vital and exciting to be part of that if you are able to be in part of that. This is an event that every celebrity, as I said, gets excited to be a part of. And sadly, this year, no one will be in attendance due to Miss Rona. Miss Rona is just out here ruining everyone's plans. So, of course, celebrities are posting all of their favorite throwback moments and looks from the Met Gala yesterday on Instagram, since yesterday would have been the date of Met Gala 2020. As I previously stated, each year the Met Gala takes place on the first Monday of May. So if you're regular and poor like me, basically, you won't get invited to this event unless you're an A-list celebrity or now they're starting to invite influencers like YouTube and Instagram influencers to the event. People like Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez. These are the types of people, types of A-list celebrities that attend the event and are able to grace their presence against the red carpet. You guys are going to freak out once I tell you what's the cost of this exclusive event, because it is pricey, let me tell you. The cost of entry to this exclusive event is $30,000 per person or $275,000 per table. Let me repeat that again, okay? This costs $30,000 per person or $275,000 per table. So that's basically my salary plus my mom's plus my sister's salaries all combined for entry. And every year the Met Gala has, as I said, has a theme. And for this year's theme, it was going to be About Time, Fashion and Duration. That's the name of the theme. About Time, Fashion and Duration. I'm not really sure what that means or what that implies. I'm assuming it includes throwback looks or maybe like taking us through some sort of timeline of how fashion has evolved over the course of 100 years or so. I don't know. When I read the title of the theme, that's what I think, like a timeline of fashion. The red carpet of the 2020 Met Gala lived on via social media, where both industry insiders and those who merely love a look joined for a virtual event called the High Fashion Twitter Met Gala to show off images, collages, illustrations, and mood boards of what they would wear to fashion's favorite night. It all gave many the opportunity to actively participate in an event that's known for its exclusive guest list. The virtual event was initially organized by 19-year-old aerospace engineering student Aria Olsen, who later joined forces with 10 more young women to create the 24-hour-long event, which featured 4 different categories and suggested the 800-plus people who signed up to participate make a donation to the International Medical Corps. Participants shared their looks via the hashtag HFT Met Gala 2020, which stands for High Fashion Twitter Met Gala. And I did see a few of these come across my Twitter feed of High Fashion Twitter Met Gala. And for the virtual Met Gala, it invited anybody on the internet. So this year, you didn't have to be an A-list celebrity. You don't need to be an influencer. Well, I mean, it happened yesterday, so I mean, we can't really partake in it anymore. If we missed it, we missed it. So that's how this year they were running that course of the Met Gala, was through Twitter, and anybody could participate. I did click on the hashtag HFT Met Gala 2020, and I saw a whole bunch of people there, imitating like their favorite Met Gala looks in the past. High Fashion Twitter wasn't the only online space where the Met Gala was being celebrated. The Met also started a viral challenge called the Met Gala Challenge, where users recreated their favorite memorable looks from galas past, which merited some truly spectacular results, including skating star Adam Rippon dressing up as Rihanna in her iconic yellow Ghoul P cape dress from the 2015 Met Gala. If you know what I'm talking about, then you're a real one, because that yellow huge cape dress that Rihanna wore, like everybody was trying to copy that look after her. I mean, she is a trendsetter, so I'm not surprised. And it's kind of funny to me that there's like air quote hashtag Met Gala challenge. Like, what exactly is a challenge? I feel like nowadays everyone is just trying to make a challenge out of anything. I don't know. Just my thoughts. By the end of the first Monday in May, it was clear, while the exclusive event may have been postponed, a very inclusive celebration of personal style had taken place in its stead online, breaking some show-stopping looks and a whole lot of joy. So I'm glad that the organizers the organizer was a 19-year-old aerospace engineering student. I'm glad that, this was open to the public. It wasn't anything like super exclusive. And I'm sure if like the actual organizers of the Met Gala were to organize something like this, I bet they would have some type of entry to like $30,000 to enter this link and do a virtual Met Gala. So I'm glad that Miss Aria Olsen, thank you for, creating this inclusive online celebration of fashion and personal style. And you guys, we're going to cut into our first break today. And when we come back, I'll be sharing with you guys news about Tyra Banks.
You really can't underestimate the importance of having the right creative work for your brand or your product. Whether it's a logo, a website, a book cover, or an ad campaign, you really need a quality design to make that big difference pop and deliver your overall engagement and success in a competitive market. That's where Design Crowd comes in. Design Crowd has over 750,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. They make crowdsourcing work for you. So if you need a logo or you're working on your creative branding, you can go to designcrowd.com and post a brief describing the design you need. And then within about 2 to 7 days, you'll receive up to over 100 different designs from designers around the world. Then you pick the best design and approve payment to the designer. So you're only paying for the design that you want. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of freelancing and out of crowdsourcing. And you don't have to be a huge company like Harvard Business School to use Design Crowd, although they have used it as well. You can start a project on Design Crowd for as little as $99. And if you go right now to designcrowd.com/health and wellness or enter the promo code health and wellness on their website, then our health and wellness listeners will receive up to $150 off of your design project. That's designcrowd.com/health and wellness or entering that promo code health and wellness.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now, don't bother, what's hot on Netflix, and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So we just got done talking about the virtual Met Gala that happened yesterday, the first Monday of May. And we're switching gears here, and we're going to be talking about Tyra Banks and why she is a trending topic right now on Twitter, and why a lot of social media users are saying Tyra Banks needs to pay for her crimes, or Tyra Banks needs to go to jail. Okay. So this subject has me cackling a little bit. If you grew up watching Tyra Banks' reality show, America's Next Top Model, at the age of like around 12 to 14, and you are now, a millennial, then, you might know what I'm leading to. America's Next Top Model has had 24 cycles or seasons. And this show has added a lot to pop culture since it aired in 2003. From smizing to J. Cole's This Is Not America's Next Top Best Friend, to Twiggy being fabulous, and the Tiffany rant, which that is like probably the most prominent like moments in reality TV. The part where she's like, "We're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you." If you know, you know. And it's safe to say that it's been a pretty huge ANTM. Like, they have definitely shaped a lot of like our pop culture phrases, especially like the whole smizing. Like, I know my friends and I definitely would say, like, when you want to take a picture and you want to be serious, like, smizing is smiling with your eyes. And we definitely learned that from Tyra Banks' show, America's Next Top Model. Despite the earlier years giving us some serious reality TV gold, there are also a lot of moments that in hindsight are pretty problematic and definitely would not fly today. So let's take a look through America's Next Top Model history. Cycle 4, Kaylin. Kaylin had to pose in a casket at the bottom of an 8-foot grave right after receiving news that a friend had died. Can you imagine that? Having to pose in a grave in a casket right after literally the next day after your best friend had died. She was offered the chance to skip the shoot, but was told that if she did, it'd affect her position in the contest. So obviously this is a young woman. She's going after her dreams. She doesn't want to lose the competition. So she went ahead with it. But if that were to happen today, absolutely not. Like, that is causing serious emotional distress. On a similar theme, Jael from Cycle 8 found out her friend had died of an overdose, and a week later, she had to pose dead for a photo shoot. Pretty insensitive, right? Cycle 4 had an entire photo shoot around, air quote, different ethnicities. Tyra basically had Caucasian models posing as women of color, women of darker complexions, aka black facing, which again, in today's world, that would definitely not fly and you will get called out for it. I mean, Kim Kardashian and the whole family, they're constantly getting called out for black facing. And just in case any of you don't really understand that term, black facing is basically when lighter complexion individuals change their appearance to basically mimic the features of black females or black women. And that's what blackfacing is. And so again, that's definitely would not happen in today's day and age. And if it does, you will get called out for it. Another example of a problematic event that took place in the show was during Cycle 17, Angela. She had her title stripped because she was once an escort. So in the final of Cycle 17, they had to refilm the finale of Cycle 17 to just feature 2 models instead of 3, and it excluded Angela, someone who was in the final 3 before the refilming. For a long time, Angela was silent about her disqualification until she eventually broke the news that the show removed her because they discovered she had previously worked as an escort. Now, this may be a little controversial to some of you, but I don't really see where the controversy is, and I don't understand the disqualification. This is kind of crazy to me. Here's my train of thought. What a person does prior to filming a show shouldn't affect you or the production in any shape, way, or form in the competition. You know, so like nowadays we have people like Cardi B who are very vocal about their past life. I mean, Cardi B, she used to be a stripper and now she's a millionaire rapper, as are many other individuals. So the same situation applies to Angela's case. And it's really disappointing that Tyra Banks and her production team did this to Angela. But again, back then, you know, I feel like as a society, we weren't as vocal in vocalizing our concerns and injustices. So this was definitely an injustice towards Angela, you know, stripping her title away of possibly winning the competition in Cycle 17. Here we go, another one. So in Cycle 19, Kayla opened up about being abused by a man as a child and was still told to film a sexy shoot with the male model. For the first time in her life, Kayla told someone about what had happened to her as a child. She expressed, you know, how she really didn't want to be intimate with the male model, but instead of telling her to not do it. She was told she should tackle her problems by facing them head on. I wish, oh no, that again would not fly today. Like, that again is so messed up, and like they are just not being sensitive towards her trauma. Like, that is a very traumatic thing. And I'm sure many, many young individuals have gone through the same experience as her. And for someone to just come in and tell you, like, you just need to tackle that problem face on. Like, what? Messed up. Okay. Like, it's crazy to me as I'm going through this list. We're going through, we're revisiting some of these moments that happened in this very popular show that many millennials were growing up watching. And obviously, back then we didn't know any better. We're young. I was 12, 14 years old watching these shows like for pure entertainment. But now I'm 24, almost 25, looking back at some of these reruns like, oh my God, like we let this slide, y'all. Like, it's crazy. Let's keep it going. I'm not even done, you guys. There's a lot of crazy things that went down in America's Next Top Model. So then in cycle 6, Danielle, she fell ill with exhaustion, dehydration, and food poisoning while the models were in Thailand. She was rushed to hospital, but checked herself out early to go to a photo shoot and pose on an elephant. Okay, she left the hospital sick to go to a photo shoot and pose on an elephant. They did not let these women be ill in peace, okay? They tell these young girls, sure, you can skip out on the photo shoot, but we're going to crush your dreams of being a supermodel by sending you home because you were too sick to work. Like, hello, like I know if I was 18, 19 years old chasing after my dreams and, they're kind of just like dangling it in front of my face. Like, we have what you want, but if you don't do as we say, we're going to take it away. Like, of course, any person would follow, So this is wild. It's really wild. And that's why I'm saying, like, in the beginning of this segment, I was like, I'm cackling, not to like make fun of the situation, but I'm cackling, like almost like I just cannot believe like no one called Tyra Banks out. Like, again, we didn't know any better. Like, most of us were very young watching this show, and thank goodness, like, this, I'm pretty sure her America's Next Top Model isn't airing anymore. I'm pretty sure there's no more seasons or cycles, as she calls it, but it's truly astounding the things that we let slide. And let's continue on. Cycle 7, okay? So in cycle 7s, they had like a swimming pool photo shoot in which one model, she got hypothermia from shooting in the pool. The final 4, it was a final 4 contestants had to pose in a freezing pool for a photo shoot. And I feel like they do this on purpose just to like test your limits to see if you're air quote like high maintenance. So they put these 4 final girls in a freezing pool for a photo shoot. And one of them, named Cardi, she had to finish the photo shoot early as she got hypothermia. And the judges later criticized her for not speaking up and pretty much blamed her for getting sick and that she probably wasn't strong enough to be a top model. What? That's wild. That is so wild. And it's crazy because I remember watching this cycle. Like, I actually remember this episode. And I remember Cara D and when she was in the pool, and the entire season, she was not problematic. She wasn't complaining. She joined the show, took bomb pictures, did what she had to do, wasn't involved in drama, and she gets hypothermia and judges say, it's your fault for not speaking up. Huh? How does that work? Do you guys see how detrimental this is to a young girl's like mind? This is wild. You guys, I'm going to come to a very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model.
You really can't underestimate the importance of having the right creative work for your brand or your product. Whether it's a logo, a website, a book cover, or an ad campaign, you really need a quality design to make that big difference pop and deliver your overall engagement and success in a competitive market. That's where Design Crowd comes in. Design Crowd has over 750,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. They make crowdsourcing work for you. So if you need a logo or you're working on your creative branding, you can go to designcrowd.com and post a brief describing the design you need. And then within about 2 to 7 days, you'll receive up to over 100 different designs from designers around the world. Then you pick the best design and approve payment to the designer. So you're only paying for the design that you want. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of freelancing and out of crowdsourcing. And you don't have to be a huge company like Harvard Business School to use Design Crowd, although they have used it as well. You can start a project on Design Crowd for as little as $99. And if you go right now to designcrowd.com/health and wellness or enter the promo code health and wellness on their website, then our health and wellness listeners will receive up to $150 off of your design project. That's designcrowd.com/health and wellness or entering that promo code health and wellness.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So we're talking about Tyra Banks. She needs to go to jail. She needs to pay for these crimes, for the emotional distress that she caused to these young girls during the filming of America's Next Top Model. And we are still continuing on with all of the crazy things and astonishing things that happened during the show because there were so many. And again, we let that slide. So, continuing on with the timeline of America's Next Top Model. In Cycle 7, Jada had a film with a male model who said he didn't like black women. She then had to kiss him in a shoot for a commercial. That is just so messed up on so many levels. And this is like a little puzzling to me because Tyra Banks, she herself is black. She's a black woman. So the fact that she brought on a male model who doesn't like black women when you're one yourself, like, where's the logic in that? Where is the logic in that? Oh my God. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And let's not forget the numerous times a model had to have her hair cut short or her hair shaved and then was eliminated pretty soon afterwards. Tyra Banks was so evil. She would shave your head and then the next day send you home. Like, this is crazy. I would be so upset. And like, you know, back then I feel like, you know, now I'm reflecting back on the show and Tyra Banks was always preaching like women empowerment, women love, whatever. And she wasn't exuding that towards the models, the contestants that were coming onto the show. You feel me? She's bringing these girls on, models, and immediately she's looking at them like, you need to do this. We need to cut your hair. We need to bleach your eyebrows. We need to drill down your teeth, which she did, by the way. She actually made someone's gap like wider or something. I can't really remember, but she just like would change their entire look to supposedly like fit the industry standards. I'm not sure if it's the industry standards or if it's her standards. I don't know, but again, all of these things that I mentioned would not have slide in today's day and age. I mean, nowadays we're all about, we preach true women empowerment, self-love, most importantly, self-love, accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all, which is a lot harder, said than done. I understand that. But I mean, she really just like came, girl showed up and she just like changed their whole look, would crush their self-esteem. Like, it's pretty wild. If you are a millennial such as myself and you are watching these shows at the age of 12, like I said, we didn't know any better. We didn't know how extremely abusive and harmful this show was, especially as like young. I mean, I'm assuming the majority of millennials who grew up watching this show were women. This is what kind of message was that sending to us at that young age? That like, oh, if we look like so-and-so and she's telling that specific model, you need to shave your head to be beautiful. We need to bleach your eyebrows to be beautiful. You need to have perfect skin, perfect teeth to be beautiful. It's like, well, dang, like, what does that say about me, So it's really, again, I know I keep saying the word wild, but it truly is. It's truly wild that we were okay, with letting this slide by. But again, we weren't as progressive back then as we are now. And I'm looking back at these America's Next Top Model reruns, and I'm literally in shock by all of the things that were that we let slide by on national television too, on national television. If any of the previous situations I mentioned happened in today's time, honey, you are going to jail, okay? You are going to jail, and that's exactly what everyone on Twitter is saying about Tyra Banks. She was a trending topic this morning when I woke up, and of course, when I clicked on her name, it was all of these video clips of her show, of the cycles of the modeling show, and all of the terrorizing things she said and did during her reality show. And I mean, it's pretty crazy. And what's even, well, not crazier, but Tyra Banks is actually facing several lawsuits for causing emotional distress to a lot of these women and for terrorizing them. So I guess we shall see what happens next to, the used to be top model Tyra Banks. And again, this information was pretty shocking to me, like revisiting all of these traumatic events that happened to these models during the show. And I was there watching it in the comfort of my own home, like for pure joy and entertainment. So, oh boy, that's a lot, but that's on that. Tyra Banks. Will she go to jail? Will she pay for these crimes, as people were calling it? I don't know. Stay tuned. I'm probably going to catch you guys up on that in the later episodes. So moving on to our next subject for today's episode. Today, Cinco de Mayo, Tuesday, it is Vanessa Bryant's 38th birthday. It's been 3 months since she lost her husband, Kobe Bryant, and daughter, Gianna, in a helicopter crash. I can't believe it's already been 3 months. That just flies by. And every time I see pictures of them, I'm still shocked and left in disbelief. And as Vanessa Bryant marked her 38th birthday today, she reminisced about her romance with, the late basketball star who she called the love of my life after discovering a love letter from him. So Vanessa revealed she saved one special love note to read on her birthday, as kind of the last note from him. Sharing a photo of her hand covering the front of the envelope from Kobe, Vanessa wrote in her caption, she posted this on Instagram, she captioned, "Yesterday I found an envelope labeled to the love of my life from Tu Papi. I waited to open one more letter on my birthday. It gave me something to look forward to today. And oh my God, I had to like pause after reading that. That's only like halfway through her caption. And I had to pause from reading that just because I'm like, oh my God, like don't start shedding tears, girl. Like it's so sad. Like the fact that she's like, I saved this last love letter from the love of my life to have something to look forward to on my birthday. Like she is so strong. She truly is. Like I wish I can just give her like a huge hug. I'm sending a virtual hug towards her and her family. Vanessa explained that in a heart-wrenching twist, in the letter, an image Kobe had chosen for the front of the card depicted Vanessa being held by an angel. Okay, you guys, that was what the front of the card, the image was. Vanessa being held by an angel. She added, the irony is that Kobe had a photo of me drawn with an angel holding me up by an artist on the cover. Missing the love of my life and my sweet little mamacita, my fellow Taurus. Grateful to wake up to my 3 sweet girls today. Wish we were all together. And then she hashtagged my birthday wish. That's how she concluded her caption. This just like makes my heart hurt, you know, like I said, I just wish I could give her a hug. I'm always sending like my positive thoughts, prayers towards her and her family to wrap them with love, to keep them uplifted, especially during this first year. I mean, this year, I think I'm so blessed and grateful that I haven't lost anyone super close to me. But I'm assuming that the first year is just going to be the hardest for her and the girls, you know, the first year without them, you know, in these important moments. Like just 4 days ago, it was Gigi's 14th birthday, or what would have been her 14th birthday. And then a few weeks ago, it was Kobe and Vanessa's 19th wedding anniversary. So, you know, she's going through the year, and it's marking the first time celebrating these special, beautiful moments without, you know, her whole family being together, without all of her children being together, without her love of the life being there. So it literally makes my heart hurt even talking about this. And, you know, Mother's Day is coming up next week. And this year's just going to mark a lot of those, like, first without all of them being together. So again, just always keeping Vanessa and her daughters in my thoughts and prayers. And, you know, just, I know they're getting a lot of love from everyone across the globe. I mean, Kobe Bryant was loved by everyone. And yeah, I hope, you know, she continues to be strong for her family. And Vanessa Bryant, if you ever listen to this podcast, I wish you the happiest birthday today, and I hope you were wrapped with lots of love and light today. And you guys, we're going to go into another very brief break right now. When we come back, I'll be sharing with you guys my entertainment pick of the week.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is the podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the final segment of the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. So we just got done wrapping up about Tyra Banks and all the crazy things that went down during her reality show. And we also just got done talking about Vanessa Bryant's birthday. And again, always sending her immense love virtually. So in this final segment, I will be sharing with you guys my entertainment pick of the week. Again, for all my newbies listening, I share either music, book, TV show, movie, anything that I've been loving lately and that I want to share with you guys. And each week is different. And for this week, it's going to be another album. During quarantine, the music has been fire. I don't know about what you guys, I don't know what tunes y'all have been listening to, but I know that this quarantine, artists are really taking advantage of people being at home and, you know, just chilling at home. And for the most part, we have a lot more free time now than we did when life was normal. And I know last week I mentioned an album. I'm going to mention another one today as well, because that's really how I've been entertaining myself. To be honest, I haven't really been like binge watching a lot of Netflix or movies. I don't know about you guys, but I get kind of tired like having my eyes on a screen all the time. Like I have to work on my laptop. I am on my phone a lot. And it's like I just like don't want to look at any more screens. So I really try to limit my screen time as much as possible. So that's why I've been turning to music. And again, artists are putting out a lot of music all the time. Like there's like 4 more albums that are on my list of I need to hear these albums. So for today's or for this week's entertainment pick of the week, it is slightly different. I'm not sure how all of you will feel about this. It is a hip hop rap album called Beyond Bulletproof by Mozzie. And this album was released on May 1st, so just a few short days ago. Many of you may not know who Mozzie is, especially if you're not from California. He is a rapper from Sacramento, California. So hometown right there. You know, I'm from Sacramento, California. So I'm sure many people in California know who he is. Mozzie has collaborated with big, you know, rappers such as YG and others as well. So he's well known, but I think he's more known in California. And I think another reason why his music or why he's not mainstream is because his music isn't played in clubs. Okay. He doesn't make music for the club. His music isn't played on the mainstream radio. And you want to know why? His music isn't for everybody. And what I mean by that, it's that it's deep. It requires a different type of mindset when listening to his music. You need to listen with your heart, mind, and ears for this one. And not just for this specific album. If you're a Mozzie fan or you know about Mozzie music, then you know that he doesn't rap about girls. He doesn't rap about money. He doesn't rap about cars. He doesn't rap about the traditional things that you typically hear in a rap song that's played in clubs and on radio. He raps about gang banging. He raps about close friends and family being thrown in jail. He raps about police brutality. He raps about real world issues and problems that he has faced. So I know this entertainment pick of the week won't suit everybody, and I know not all of y'all will like this suggestion, but this is what I've been tuning to for the past, few days, and I've really been digging in. I kind of forgot about Mozzie for a little bit, and then he released this album, and my friends were hyping the album up because we all have very similar music tastes, me and my two best friends, and they were like, yo, listen to this in the car, listen to this in a quiet space, it'll just get you in the mood. Again, it's not club bangers. You're not gonna hear a song on there and be like, oh, this is gonna be on my workout playlist. Not at all. None of these songs really made it to my workout playlist. They made it more to my Cloud 9 playlist, and my Cloud 9 playlist is my chill, vibey music. So that's where my favorite tracks from the album Beyond Bulletproof made. And if I can describe Mozzie, if I can compare him to any other rapper out there, he's sort of like J. Cole, in the sense that he's an intellectual rapper. Like I said, they don't rap about girls, money, guns, none like that. Well, he does rap about guns, but it's as I mentioned, police brutality, gang banging, things of that nature. In his album, Beyond Bulletproof, there are 13 tracks total. Some of my personal favorites are So Lonely, Bulletproofly, Price Tag, and Big Homie from the Hood. I think out of all these, Big Homie from the Hood might be like my absolute favorite. As I just mentioned, you really got to listen to what he's spitting in his music to enjoy it. You really got to listen to the lyrics. This album is definitely not for everyone. And it's definitely of like a slower pace, a vibey rap. Again, this is like music you want in your Cloud9 chill playlist. It's not really going to be in your hip hop hardcore gym playlist. But nonetheless, I still wanted to mention it as my entertainment pick of the week, because I know there may be a select few of you out there who are listening to me and, you know, can relate to this or like this type of stuff. So I really try to diversify my music taste. I think I'm pretty diverse with my music taste. Like, as long as it's like pleasant to hear and I'm able to like bob my head to it a little bit, I'm with it. So that is my entertainment pick of the week. Again, that is the latest album from Mozzie, hip hop release, Beyond Bulletproof. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this entertainment pick of the week. Let me know in the comments if you're from Sacramento, if you like listening to Mozzie, if you've heard the album. What are your thoughts on the album? Do you like it? Do you not? Am I overhyping it? I don't know. That's just how I feel. Okay, you guys? And that's basically going to wrap up today's episode here at the GSMC Entertainment Podcast. We talked about the virtual Met Gala that took place yesterday via Twitter, the high fashion Twitter Met Gala. We talked a lengthy amount of time regarding Tyra Banks and all of the terrorizing things and events that occurred during all of those seasons in her reality show, America's Next Top Model. Let me know in the comments what you thought about that, because it's truly crazy, all the things that went down on our show. And last but not least, of course, Mrs. Vanessa Bryant and her birthday. Let's all wish her again a giant happy birthday to Vanessa Bryant, who turns 38 today. And again, always sending lots of love and light towards her and her family and her girls. And I want to wish you all, or I want to thank you all first for tuning in to today's episode. If you liked what I had to say, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here next week.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.